strikes, 2K stealth drops, and sneaky teases. All that and more in today's Good Morning Mario and Good Morning Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic out there. Welcome to the greatest Nintendo show where we cover all the latest in Nintendo news in about 10 minutes flat. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We're kicking it off, though, with something that scratches the itch known as overpriced Nintendo thing that is really cool that you want but probably shouldn't get but might end up getting because it's so cool and it's Nintendo. Today's Exhibit A, and let me know in the comments if you want this, is the new Super Mario World Lego set dropping on October 1st, 2024. Lego are just like permanently overpriced in my mind. I know Lego are expensive, I know they hold their value, but $130 for Mario riding Yoshi in a pixelated format? Come on now. It's 1,215 pieces. But it has a crank. It has a crank, and this crank makes the Yoshi walk. It makes the Yoshi walk and stick out his tongue, and that is where this just sends it over the top for me. Imagine how cool it could be if I could be like, good morning, Mario, Yoshi, and good morning, Switch fans, and then like crank Yoshi a few times. It's probably completely overkill and unnecessary, but it would look sick in my background. It's just hard to justify $130 for a freaking Lego set. Why is Lego so expensive? This one is really cool, and I do love that mechanism that allows you to crank it and move and make it look like do 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 do. Okay, in more tangible Nintendo Switch news, 2K is stealth dropping Borderlands Pandora's Box Collection. Now, this is a humongous Borderlands collection with 6 games, all DLC, all add-ons, and a really nifty low price. It's freaking fantastic, in my opinion, that Borderlands is on Switch in such a big capacity. Not only did they bring the classic games, they brought the most recent game, Borderlands 3, and this bundle includes Borderlands 1, 2, 3, the pre-sequel, Tales from the Borderlands, and new Tales from the Borderlands. So it does not give you the most recent Borderlands game, I guess, but we'll consider that a spin-off. So it gives you like the 6 Borderlands that are on Switch, but for $37.50 I think is really, really cool. I appreciate that they're not trying to gouge you. It's so low. It's basically $6 a game, and they all come with the DLC, and they've done a nice thing where if you own any of the Borderlands games within the Pandora's Box bundle, you can get a specially discounted price for the rest of the bundle, which is very fan-centric. And I think Borderlands is a franchise that deserves and should continue on. I loved Borderlands 3 when it came out. I love that it's on Nintendo Switch. I love that these can be played local co-op or online co-op. And I do hope Borderlands 4 is an even bigger and better and more loot-filled game. The Borderlands movie's out soon. Don't have high hopes for that, but this is pretty cool. I like this bundle a lot. And if you initially got like Borderlands 1 and 2 when they first dropped on Switch, this might be a great way to complete the collection and do it at a really reduced price. So let me know in the comments down below if you're going to check out Pandora's Box. The games are pretty cool on Switch. Taking them portably feels even better. Now, what does not feel better is the strike. The big strike for the SAG-AFTRA actors is about AI. And this has been proposed for a while now, approved for a while now, but it goes into effect today. And it's basically actors, voice actors, trying to fend off AI and trying to get good agreements and guarantees in place that AI will not replace them. There's been some companies that have spoken out against using AI in game development, and some companies that are like, dude, we're just gonna AI create voices because it's easier, cheaper, faster, and in their minds better. But it's not better when it puts people out of a job, and it's not better when the video game industry is already suffering and struggling so much in terms of jobs, in terms of layoffs, in terms of people not being able to get their paycheck, feed their family, and continue to do the hard work that they love to do. It's been a really rough year, and I guess a few years for video game layoffs and company closures. Humble Games just got shut down a few days back. We'll touch on them in a second. A lot of just bummers around the board. And these actors are trying to ensure that they are not replaced by computer-generated voice, which I fully agree. I don't think we should have computer-generated voice for games. I think it removes really important human jobs and it removes a human factor, and it feels like a shortcut that will end up biting some of these publishers in the butt. It's something that clearly the fan base is not behind, and it seems like a quick cash grab that will end up really being a bad look. And so SAG-AFTRA is striking, and this means that video game development is going to be impacted. Now, it might not be as bad as you think, and for us Nintendo fans, not a whole lot of dialogue in our Nintendo games, although there are voice actors that have to make the woo, wahoos, and yahas, and all the other sound effects that go into the production of these Nintendo Switch games. And just in general, I'm sure people are going to be supportive, even if they are working on Nintendo games with smaller voice counts. They'll still be supportive of this. But they note that games in development before September 2023, so basically less than a year ago, 10 months ago, will not be impacted by this strike. That means anything that's been in development for more than 10 months is kind of exempt. And it says that they are also working on exempt deals and sort of like different things to ensure that there are interim deals in place to keep games going. So there will be some games that are affected. There will be some games that are impacted. Some games will be delayed because of this. But it does seem like they're trying to handle this in a way that most games will not be impacted. Most upcoming releases will not be impacted. And the games that would be impacted were probably ones that weren't coming out until 2026, 2027, 2028. And hopefully by that time, goodness gracious, by that time, they should have a deal in place to ensure the safety, the security, and the longevity of these voice actors that have dedicated their entire lives to this craft. I know it's always a tough thing to navigate when it's like, we have new tech and it's exciting and it could be very cool and it could be very big and it could be very profitable, but there's also real people involved. And I think the balancing act, especially in the video game space, of ensuring that we're staying up to date with the latest and greatest in terms of technology, but also really being good to our employees and really valuing the human impact on video games more than just the computer ones and zeros binary impact on games. It's going to be something important to consider now, and even more so as the years tick on. I do hope this gets resolved. I do hope they get their guarantees, and I do hope that not too many games are affected. One game that was affected by the Humble Games shutdown is going to be Coral Island. Now, Coral Island is a Stardew Valley type game that's already on PC, PS5, and the Xbox consoles. However, it was supposed to pop up on Nintendo Switch as promised by their Kickstarter. But now that Humble Games has been shut down by IGN, they call it restructuring, but by restructuring they mean everybody's been removed, so it doesn't seem like much of a restructure to me. Coral Island and Stairway Games are in a very precarious position. Now, people were very upset, like, how are we going to get this? There's no Switch version. People that backed this, they got over $1 million in their Kickstarter campaign. There's no refunds being offered, no alternative keys. What the heck is going on? And Stairway Games had to come out and make a statement basically saying, like, further console versions are, like, not happening anytime soon. Updates are not happening anytime soon. This is very upsetting. This is very frustrating. They can't share more because of an NDA. They can't share more because of publishing agreements they signed, but they are offering Steam PC keys if Switch backers want to switch to that. So if you are someone that was waiting for Coral Island on Switch, I would probably just swap to a PC key. It seems like in a situation like this, they probably will not have the chance to make good on their commitment to develop the game for Switch, and really not by any fault of their own. I hope that the anger or frustration or disappointment is not taken out on Stairway Games because they didn't ask to be closed. Personally, I'm quite confused by this because everything I've seen from Humble Games has been solid. The Humble Bundle is obviously a wonderful thing that has been in existence and been very popular for many years, so this confuses me, but so do many of the layoffs and studio closures, like Hi-Fi Rush's studio, make a great game, get shut down, oops, what do we do? Well, that sucks. It does suck. And so Coral Island not coming to Switch sucks, but Stairway Games not being able to continue with their publishing agreement sucks even more. My heart goes out to these people, and I wish it was on Switch, but there's a bunch of other games in this vein that you can play on Switch, and so I would just go for the PC code. Sorry, that was my spoon. I would just go for the PC code and enjoy it on Steam right now, because then you can start playing today and not have to wait any longer. Doesn't seem like we'll be waiting too much longer for a sneaky announcement from the team behind Blasphemous. One of the best Metroidvania Dark Souls crossovers the Nintendo Switch has seen is the duo of games that are very gnarly, very graphic, very spooky, but do have incredible gameplay, and I really feel like, hey, they've improved upon quite a bit in the sequel. And now they say, listen carefully, Pentiment One, announcement coming soon. Now, this could be an announcement of a third Blasphemous game, but I bet it's more for DLC for Blasphemous 2. Blasphemous 1 got 3 packs of free DLC, and so Blasphemous 2 probably due for its own packs of DLC. Blasphemous 2 is a great time. I played it at launch. The boss fights are fantastic, and the game is a little less punishing than Blasphemous 1, which I appreciate. I do like the difficulty, but as time goes on, like, I'm here for like a medium tier of difficulty. I don't want like the bust your brain difficulty, make you throw the controller, spend 100 hours trying to beat these 2 bosses difficulty. I like challenge that rewards you, makes you feel good and proud, and causes you to retry and strategize a few times, but then it's manageable. And I think Blasphemous 2 fit nicely into that area of the Venn diagram. So I hope that they are able to continue that with DLC or with a new title. Either way, I'll be paying attention to this because I do think Blasphemous is one of the cooler indie franchises that has got a lot of shine on the Switch eShop, despite its very intense art style and just overall aesthetic, I guess. I still respect Blasphemous, and I think it's a pretty sweet game. So we'll see what they're announcing as we wait on the train for the August Nintendo releases and eventual September Direct. In the meantime, though, let me know what you think of today's topics in the comments down below. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there, everybody. Love you lots. Thanks again for watching. SwitchForce out.